The Nashville Predators, one of the more interesting teams to keep an eye on over the next couple of weeks. The Predators started their season out very slow, 0-5-0. The offense looks slow, the defense and goaltending has underperformed, and all of the expectations that seem to have been set for the team this offseason have just completely gone sideways. Entering last year, the Predators seem to have finally began retooling their team, moving off of pieces like Matthew Shane, Ryan Johansson, and replacing them with other guys like Ryan O'Reilly and Gustav Nyquist. These changes definitely worsened the roster on paper, and with that, the expectations of the hockey club. Well, this year, adding those key players like Stamkos, Marchessault, and Shea brought the expectations back up for the organization. And with these now high expectations, cup pedigree being added, the team should be finishing top 3 in their division, right? Well, let's just say the start of their season hasn't exactly reflected that, and for a lot of fans who believe in the Nashville Predators, their confidence seems to be shaking. Well, let's break this down, how this team got out to a 0-5-0 start this year, and how this could be a big concern for the Nashville Predators if things don't start to change pretty soon. So let's start by talking about the Predators last season and comparing it to this year, and how expectations is going to be the biggest word of this video, because a lot of what we're going to feel about the Nashville Predators this year is going to be predicated on that word, and how we have built up this roster based on some of the names that they brought into the hockey club. The Preds were a tough team to predict last year. On one hand, their forward core was lacking superstar talent outside of Forsberg and O'Reilly, making scoring more difficult for the team than it had been in previous years. While on the other hand, their defense and goaltending remained at the top of the league, especially with guys like Saros and Josi still being some of the best players at their position. Now, the season started like you would expect. The team struggled to score and was outside of the playoffs halfway through the year. But what was crazy about the Predators last season was their 18-game win streak, where they went 16-0-2, helping them turn their season around and make the playoffs yet again. Despite making the postseason though, the Predators lost in the first round to the Vancouver Canucks. A successful season based on expectations, but still a team that came up short. Heading into the offseason, it was unclear where the Predators were going to take this team after their newfound success. But quickly, the organization answered all of these questions by making a massive splash in free agency. Nashville brought in 3 key players, including Steven Stamkos, Jonathan Marchessault, and Brady Shea. Not to mention the fact that they re-signed their star goalie Juuse Saros. The team now had a respectable top 6, strong defense, and great goaltending, making them the most improved team of the offseason, raising expectations all the way back up to what it had been in the past. So now let's talk about different facets of this team and why they're actually off to a slow start based on the expectations some fans may have had for the organization. First thing that stands out to me for this losing streak is the Predators' overall team shooting percentage. Now, typically this isn't a number I like to use because it's more individual based, but when the entire team is shooting at such a low percentage compared to every other organization, I think it definitely is a red flag for the start of a season that was supposed to be a little bit more explosive given the offensive weapons that you added to the team. Right now, over this stretch, the Predators have a brutal shooting percentage, ranking 32nd in the league at 5.7%. The team is firing pucks but not getting enough quality looks to have it impact their stats on the score sheet. And right now, the Preds have shot the 10th most pucks on net with 177. In their matchup against the Detroit Red Wings, they allowed Detroit to block 31 of their attempted 73 shots. And despite still getting 42 on net, they didn't get any high danger looks to actually reach Talbot. The Predators also have the lowest goals per game right now, tied with Edmonton and San Jose at 2.00, all 3 at the bottom of the standings. So in order to get in the win column, the team will need to get their shot percentage to average out a bit more, as well as get a few more high danger chances that will translate into goals, rather than just firing very low danger shots onto whatever goalie they're facing each night. Shooting percentage isn't everything. Like we talked about earlier, it kind of is a stat that fluctuates as the season goes on. So I imagine even though the team is ranked 32nd right now, that this will even out eventually because of some of the offensive talents they have on this roster. So what else is contributing to their lack of success so far to start the year? Another thing that's worth highlighting is the Predators' special team numbers up to this point in the season. Looking at their power play and penalty kill numbers, they've had 16 power play opportunities through their first set of games. They right now sit at 18.75%, ranking 17th in the league. When comparing this number to last season, it's slightly below their start in 2023-24, where they had a 20% completion through their first set of games. You would think that after adding a few offensive power play specialists to this team that the numbers would actually go up on the team's power play, but I just chalk this up to early learning experiences and the chemistry just not being at its best yet. When it comes to their penalty kill though, they're actually doing a pretty good job. The team sits at 7th in penalty kills and hasn't really taken too many penalties that have contributed to goals on the opposite side. So while their offense hasn't been going yet, their defensive numbers are still pretty great. So offensively and defensively, we've seen kind of the parallels between the two. Nashville has always been more of a defensive team, and even though they added a lot of offensive weapons, there's still some struggles as they continue to go throughout the season. I expect players like Steven Stamkos, Jonathan Marchessault to eventually find their games. Chemistry is a big part when we're talking about things like this. So with the defense playing so well, the next thing might actually shock you because their goaltending, in my eyes, has been one of the worst parts to the Predators team so far throughout the first 5 games. This offseason, the Predators went all in on Juuse Saros, signing him to an 8-year, $61.92 million contract extension and dealing off their future star goalie prospect in Askarov to the Sharks. The team also acquired Scott Wedgwood through free agency after a very solid year with the Dallas Stars. Through their first 5 games, the two goalies have combined for a very low goals against average at 4.60, which ranks 31st in the league. Their save percentage is also very low at an .864, which ranks 30th in the league. Individually, Saros has an .875 save percentage and Wedgwood is at an .800 save percentage. Wedgwood's one start came against the Dallas Stars, which was poor, but allowing 4 goals on 20 shots as a backup against a powerhouse team isn't exactly a crazy thing to have happened. The more interesting storyline from their goaltending is Saros. Looking at his goals above expected right now, Saros is at a -3.2, which ranks 52nd out of 65 players. Now, this is a small sample size, but some of the goals that Saros has led in haven't exactly been great. And I think the team was really expecting him to play well to start the year because the rest of the team needed to find their identity and build chemistry. Probably a big reason why they paid him that contract because they knew what they would get in net with the stability that he's provided them over the years. Unfortunately, that just hasn't been the case, and Saros hasn't really shown up in the first 4 starts of the season. I fully expect this to turn around because he's incredibly talented, but for the Predators, I think that this one really threw them off based on what they thought Saros was going to give them to begin the year. So can the Predators turn this around, or is this the team that we should anticipate watching for the entire season? In my eyes, a small 5-game sample isn't enough for me to give up on a team. Especially when you make new additions to your roster, you need to give them time to adjust. I've mentioned this multiple times over the video because I just think it's so important. To start the year, Steven Stamkos and Jonathan Marchessault have to find their role on the team. That's very important. And something that they need to focus on is keeping the line consistent so that way the chemistry can continue building. Andrew Brunette has shuffled the lines up a lot with each game, and there's just no reason to be that dramatic to start the year. It's actually more important to endure the growing pains of chemistry building than it is to win a game in October. And I would rather have my team start 0-5 and then go on a great stretch later on in the year like the Predators did last season than to win a few games in October and never really be taken seriously. Both Stamkos and Marchessault have played with some top-notch centers and line mates in the past, and this second line for the Preds has only played a short amount of time with each other, which can be challenging to navigate. For the Preds, just getting back to basics is going to be very important for the team. Make sure you're keeping Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist together because they had a lot of success last year. And then just put a consistent second line center alongside Stammer and Marshy. Whether it's Sissons or Novak, it doesn't really matter. Whichever one's playing better and will provide the team with a better overall result, that's what you need to do because the top 6 is actually really talented and not producing the way they should so far. As for defense and goaltending, this will follow along with the production of the offense like it historically has. I've never worried about these two things for the Predators. They're way too talented to be giving up this many goals. I think eventually this will even out and the team will be more of a defensive-minded team than they will be relying on their offense. But how are you guys feeling about the Nashville Predators right now? Are you worried about their slow start or panicking about this organization? Or do you think that this slow start just comes with growing pains, adding new players, and trying to build chemistry? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As always, let's have a good discussion about this. Make sure you guys like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I will see you in the next one.